Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. In today's episode, and following up to our prior episode, would like to address the second of two documents filed contemporaneously together by the defense on June 9th, 2023. In our last episode, we addressed the first of the two, Mr. Kohberger's response to the state of Idaho's May 23rd, 2023 demand for discovery. But the state of Idaho did not just make a demand for discovery that day. They also requested Mr. Kohberger's alibi defense if he was so inclined to raise one at trial. Recall, Fifth Amendment guarantees Mr. Kohberger the right to remain silent. He does not need to put on a defense of any kind or produce an alibi defense. But under state statute in Idaho, if Mr. Kohberger is going to raise an alibi defense, meaning he wasn't at 1122 King Road at the time that the crimes occurred, he was somewhere else, and that's his defense, one of them anyway, to the crimes being committed by him. So here we see in the document, it is entitled Motion for Exception or in the Alternative to Extend Time for Compliance with Idaho Code Section 19519. What is that? That is the state statute entitled Notice of Defense of Alibi. It provides certain exceptions that Mr. Kohberger could apply for under that statute, and that's exactly what he's doing here. He says here that Mr. Kohberger requests the court to find good cause for an exception, or in the alternative, extend the time for compliance with Idaho Code 19519. There is a time limit that the code requires Mr. Kohberger to provide this alibi defense unless the court grants this relief. Remember, a motion is an application for a court order. He's looking for an exception to having to comply with the statute. Or in the alternative, to extend the time for compliance. And what is his grounds? What's his good basis? You can't just ask for this type of relief without explaining why the court should grant it for you. Well, he goes into the fact that he has been served with a virtual mountain of discovery from the state of Idaho. He describes it as 51 terabytes of information, photographs, documents, video. That is something that the defense is currently but has not yet sifted through. And the defense believes that there may be information, or there is information in that discovery that may bear on Mr. Kohberger's alibi defense. So they're saying that this demand for discovery, given these facts, the demand for the alibi defense is premature, Judge. In the alternative, they are asking the court to extend the time that he is required under state law to produce that alibi defense. And if the court is not inclined to grant the exception, they are asking for a hearing on the motion to extend the time. They say that they estimate they will need 15 minutes for that hearing. This document will then lead to a virtual war between both sides. They're going to go back and forth for many, many months over this alibi defense and what the defense is asking for here. If you would like to review this document, the first of the road to this battle between the parties, please go to the link that I have provided in the description of this podcast. And as always, my name is Kathy. Thank you for joining us. Please join us for our next episode in this continuing series.